everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we'll see one of the more dangerous passing offenses. The Texans are top 10 in passing TDs, and they'll go against the Cardinals, who are very aware of what they'll be dealing with. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading him out will be their quarterback. In his 4th year from Pittsburgh, it's Tom Savage.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Offensive starters here. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, a talented wide receiver.
And he's still looking for that ultimate recognition. He wants to be mentioned with the best receivers in the game. His numbers suggest that we should do so.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Robert Kimdichie able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 11th season now, former Michigan State Spartan. You get a look at Drew Stanton.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. That's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Let's look at this offense now, and let's talk about John Brown.
An exciting young talent from Pittsburgh State, home of the Gorillas. Hard to cover, great moves in short areas.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, Peterson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The numbers for him from a week ago, 18 carries, 66 yards.
And how about that momentum run right there? Personally, what I do is I get right back to the line of scrimmage. I come right back at him before they get settled. He's locked in a little bit now. I guarantee he wants the ball again.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Stanton, this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
On second down, Peterson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And we'll get our first update of the afternoon for the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. This is taken at the 3. And shedding through the tackle. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here is Savage. And finding Fedorowicz. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going, and that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are in for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. While we have a minute, we remind you that later tonight we'll have a couple of NFC East rivals squaring off, the Eagles and the Cowboys from Big D.
Or Arlington. Got to make sure we get it right.
To be more precise there in the Metroplex. Then tomorrow night, Week 11, we'll wrap up with a playoff rematch from the divisional round a year ago, the Falcons and Seahawks, but this time from Seattle. He was in search of the tight end, Troy Nicholas. And it's second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. With that last carry, Adrian Peterson has gone over 12,000 yards in his career. He becomes the 16th member of that elusive club.
How about that? The next 3 guys that are on the list that he can pass, all Hall of Famers. Thurman Thomas, Franco Harris, and Marcus Allen. No wonder his dad called him AD for all day. That man can go. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stanton. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they take it all the way to the 1-yard line, but in the end, they opt for 3.
I know if this was a video game, they never would have gone for the field goal because, Brandon, who kicks field goals in video games? But you've got to make sure you get points, and that was as easy a 3 as you can get.
You kick field goals in video games. That's who kicks field goals in video games. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On second down, here's Savage. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Savage from the shotgun snap. It's hauled in by Ellington. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. It's complete to Fuller. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, and the Texans will extend their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now Stanton. It's complete to Tiburon Brown. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Set. 3-19.
To throw on second down, Stanton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Off play action. Stanton. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Now let's go. B-19. B-19.
The final shot before break for Savage. Dancing to his left. Going deep for Hopkins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Second quarter in Cleveland, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. Deshaun Kaiser with one touchdown pass thus far.
All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Texans starting it up on their opening drive. Defense will get to the quarterback here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Texans have it at the 32. The catch will be made deep down the field, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Texans go up by 4. 2nd and 2 coming up. Savage getting this one in the hands of his speedy wideout, Will Fuller. And this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. We move late into the second. Jackson's able to zero in on the QB here. This will go as a loss of 10. That'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you back over to Houston as we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the gun on third down, Stanton. And this is going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. And this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 11. A little 360. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They'll run it again with Miller. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Savage. And the Pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Carlos Dansby. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
This Cardinals pass rush in 2016 got home 48 times. That's a pretty good number.
A very good number, led the league. Is it just because the dudes that they had, or the scheme, or both, or what?
It's always the dudes first, but their scheme, attacking, pressure, they'll continue to pile up the sacks.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
That one was intended for John Brown. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. In trouble, and he's taken down. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Lamar Houston in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie, and that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off of play action. Savage rolling to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Throwing on 1st down. Stanton. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back to throw. Stanton. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 18 yards to pick up there.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stanton, wide open receiver, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 14, down 2 to 14.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Troy Nicholas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And now the Cardinals are within a 2-point conversion of tying up this game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Tom Savage and the rest of his Texans offense heading back out there. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not...
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Texans have broken the tie. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Jaron Brown, the intended target. 3rd down here.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Off the play fake. Stanton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, Stanton over the middle here to Brown. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. They'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Back to throw. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to feel that one knocked down hard. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Zach Cunningham in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Back to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
Elsewhere, they're on to the 4th quarter at MetLife Stadium. And the Giants have taken the lead there late in that one. Eli Manning with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Savage now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. They run again with Peterson, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. The Cardinals on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. They give it to Peterson. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads. Took him right off his feet, right around the 31. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and that changes everything here in OT. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Now a first throw here in overtime. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Off-play action. Stanton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go now.
Savage, first throw in overtime. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that time almost intercepted. That would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, 2nd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better.
Face mask. Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
Fresh set of downs here. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle.
Lamar Miller past the 20. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Houston, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.